Hey, what's up? Iron Tamer Dave Whitley here from the Shed of Strength version 2.0. Now, a long time ago at the old house with the small shed that I had there, I did a little, this is what I've got inside the shed, sort of a tour of the Shed of Strength kind of thing. And I realized that since 3.5 years ago, when I moved to this house, that I haven't done that with this particular shed. So I thought I would take an opportunity to share some of that with you guys. I'm going to step outside here and you guys can see it's big. This was here when we bought the place. It's a machine shed, and I just moved a bunch of stuff into it. It's divided in half by this wall, and over there is such dramatic and amazing things as my lawnmower and some gas cans and stuff. So all of the strength stuff happens here in this side. So let's give a little tour here, shall we? And I'm going to turn the view of the camera around if I can. Apparently I can't do that. I have to keep it in this selfie mode. So I'll do the best I can with what I've got here. Brought the whiteboard from the old gym here, and I scribble things on it once in a while, but not very often. Here we have lots of pieces of steel waiting to be bent, and a very large battling rope, 2.5 inch, 50-foot long battling rope. I don't know. There's a weight tree with some plates on it. Chains and a harness for dragging. Here is my wooden dummy that I use from time to time for practicing some kung fu. Here's my old horse trough. There's a shirt that was nasty that's drying out. I mean, I run a pretty tight ship around here. On top of the horse trough, I keep a piece of plywood over that so nothing decides to live in it. We are out in the country, and so this shed is a home to other creatures besides myself. Here I've got some rings mounted from the rafters in case I want to do any kind of pull-ups or rows. The shelves back there have some yard work stuff, and also some lifting stuff, some grippers and some Indian clubs, stuff like that. Punching bag that literally just sits here. I've never done anything with it. Various pieces of bent metal, hammers, my axle, my thick bar that I have. The bar weighs 80 pounds, so it's loaded at like 230 right now, I think. Some other stuff, some blob stuff, some hammers, vertical bar. This over here is a modular grip system thing from Ryan Pitts at Stronger Grip. I've got it set up for pinch grip right now. You see there's spider webs all over it. It's pretty gnarly. Inversion table. That barbell's broken, so don't expect to see me use it for anything because I don't want to drop stuff on my head. And then here's kind of where most of the fun stuff happens. I tend to stand in this spot for swings and such, snatches or whatever. And I've got a little counter over there with a bunch of crap laying all over it that, you know, just sits there. That's where my electricity is, so I can be good and civilized. Hey, check it out. 2 giant metal fans. See, it's a joke. And a few kettlebells here. Yeah, I said kettlebell. Whatever. And then the other 2 parts of the centerpiece here are this stack of bricks, which on top of it I've got a coconut that I'm using for braking training right now. Hopefully I didn't break it when I dropped it on the ground right there. Nope, still good. A sandbag that I use for my iron hand conditioning stuff, and also some Shaolin brand Dit Da Gel. They make great Dit Da Gel. My friend Dale Dugas, acupuncturist, works on those formulas, and they sell them at Shaolin brand if you need some good Chinese herbal medicines for bruises and whatnot. And then right here we have the centerpiece, which is the Redneck Cryo Chamber. I hope that's showing up. Redneck Cryo Chamber. And we can take a look inside. And this is what it looks like. It's a freezer. It's probably 3/4 of the way, maybe slightly more than that, full of water. and I do my cold exposure training in that. What I have here is a, what do you call it? A laser thermometer. So I'm going to point that at my arm and push the button, and we can see that we get an 80 something, 82.5 degree skin temperature. Sorry, the light's playing tricks with this now. If we shine this, point this inside the tub, the freezer, and we see we got currently a 46.3 degree water temperature. It's been really warm. It's just now starting to cool off, and so I have lowered the amount of time that I let the freezer run every day. You Wim Hof folks, I might do people who are interested in Wim Hof method, I might shoot a second video just about the freezer. But here's how I have this thing set up. Freezer plugs into this timer, and where these little things are depressed, that's how long it runs. So it only runs for 2 hours a day to keep it at a 40 something, 46 degree chill, which is pretty cold. I find that seasonally, for me, when it's really warm outside, I'm in Tennessee, so it gets pretty blazing hot in the summertime, that 40 to 47, 46, 47 degree water down to about maybe 40, even 38 degrees is about as cold as I need to get the effect that I want when I'm cold training. I have found in the wintertime though, that when it gets down into 20 and 30 degrees Fahrenheit outside, that the freezer needs to be a little bit colder, and I let it run for a little bit longer and actually freeze up over the top and break the ice on it. It'll freeze a ring around the outside the way it is now in a 2 hour time period, and then I just get in it. But it's interesting to me that seasonally, the amount of cold of the air temperature is directly related to what I need from the cold in the freezer. The colder it is outside, the colder the freezer needs to be for me to get the same sort of feeling and effect and all of that. And then that just plugs in right here. So I plug in a power strip, and I plug the timer into the power strip, and I plug the freezer into the timer. And then before I get into the freezer, I think this is crucial, I unplug the freezer, because death by electrical shock in a freezer full of cold water seems like a kind of dumb way, an avoidable way to die, and I don't want to die. So that's what I do. If anybody's interested, I'll make another video that's just about the freezer and about details about it. So that's it. Thanks for stopping by the Shed of Strength.